We are in the future.
What's good, people? Agent Jules reporting for duty. I would like to welcome you into the new decade. A new year, a new month, a new day, a new setup that you are not going to see again because I'm actually spending time with family and I'm at my brother's place. So we're doing just a temporary setup. There is construction in the background that you may or may not hear, so do forgive the sound quality. That's just what it is, man. Alright, today we're doing the first speed paint of the year and of the decade and of the new day, which is Bluebird Azurite from Steven Universe Future! And it's going to be a lovely little thing because she's very easy to draw. And you know me and I love my easy cartoons. So, I now want you to obey my every command and smash that like button or I will come to your house and do things to you that you don't agree with. Because as we all know, we are all a slave to the YouTube algorithm. So let's get on this crazy train. Bluebird Azurite, the unholy fusion of eyeball and aquamarine. She's pretty goofy. Not only do I like her because she is easy to draw, but because she has a funny voice.
What is this?
Just some old earth things. Clams, peanut butter, and a side of fresh cut grass. Please enjoy it. I'm begging you. Please.
One thing I also like about her, character-wise, is that she just doesn't get along. I'm liking that we're seeing for the first time gems that aren't just up and getting into this whole, oh, let's hold hands, kumbaya, you know, come on people now, smile upon your gem, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. We're getting some new flavor to this. We're getting some, maybe not everything is as it seems. And I kind of admire that. She's also kind of a unique gem in that, being a fusion, she's really tiny. Like, I don't know if I've seen another fusion that's pathetically small yet. We have all kinds of crazy fusions in the show, and they usually end up being giant monstrosities with the exception of Garnet. And I guess that one gem from that one episode where they're at the dance and, you know, they join together and say, oh boy, we're a fusion too, hoo-hoo. And they earn the ire of everyone in the entire room. Probably not the best move to do that in a totalitarian regime, just saying. But anyway, I do like it because we are seeing something a bit new. And with this newness, we're diving into complication. And I love complication in my story. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see if we can talk design philosophy. I'm gonna guess as to what these people were thinking when they were making Bluebird. As I mentioned before, she's tiny, which is unusual for fusions that we've seen thus far. She seems to kind of go along with the entire idea that size matters in gem culture. It's kind of like Urkins, you know, like how the taller you are, the more important you are. And the leaders are literally the tallest, so are the diamonds. The diamonds are literally the tallest. And Bluebird is this tiny fusion, and she's not that impressive as far as her power set. Now, she's got like the lapis lazuli water wings, which is pretty cool. But that's about it. I mean, yes, she has hydrokinesis, but all of that is aquamarine shtick. You know, none of that comes from Eyeball. What is Eyeball contributing to this relationship, huh? Huh? What is she? I guess she's a freeloader. She's just there to be edgy, right? With her kniff to shake Steven in his little bubble in space. And so because she's a weak fusion, she doesn't really put up that much of a fight. You know, I mean, that whole scene where she's scrapping with Steven. Steven just kind of smacks her around. And I mean, this is Steven we're talking about. And I'm not saying that to say that Steven is weak. I mean, he is a diamond. So he's rocking probably the best power set you can have as far as gems go. But again, this is Steven we're talking about. You know, he ain't no Mike Tyson. You know, he's not going to go out there, you know, knocking people out in the first round. I do like that she has 4 legs instead of 4 arms. That's kind of a nifty little thing to see. I mean, we've seen variable limbs before, like in Malachite, who's nothing but hands. Just going around being handsy. So now you got Bluebird with 4 legs. And I actually wonder why they did that, and I have a theory, and the theory is really simply because she has a really stubby body, and putting 4 arms on that stubby body would be kind of awkward, unless you stretch her torso like some kind of gem human centipede looking thing. So with 4 legs, I mean, that kind of makes her a centaur, you know, a magical centaur with wings, no doubt. bet that goes over well with the kiddies. I bet that toys would sell like hotcakes if she was the star of the show. If it were the Bluebird Azurite show instead of the Steven Universe show. I mean, all she needs is a unicorn horn and she can fulfill the dreams of all the little girls across the world. So another design note I want to hit on is her motley of colors, right? Now keep in mind, I am not a gem guy, okay? I don't know gems. Everything I've learned about gems comes from the show and from the occasional museum. But I do know that Bluebird Azurite is a gemstone that has like a different interlacings of colors and whatnot, which is relatively common in a lot of other gemstones I've noticed. You know, the blue-red mixture in Bluebird kind of makes sense. And it's really interesting because it's very heterogeneous, if you know what I mean. You know, it's a very stark color shift. Like you even see it in the gem in her eye and the teardrop, how there's a distinct blue and red. And I wonder if that is kind of like a symbol of fusion instability. And what I mean by that is you'll notice Garnet, for example, in her earlier fusions, was very motley looking. You know, her colors really weren't a solid mixture because, you know, that was their first fusion. So I was wondering if Bluebird Azurite actually got along with their halves, Aquamarine and Ruby the Eyeball, if their color would mix better, and if it did, would they become a new gem? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's a question for Rebecca Sugar, ain't it? So enough babbling about design. Let's talk about story implementation. What do we got here? Let me look down. You'll notice I'm doing that a lot because I'm reading my connotes. Yes, that's connotes with a capital K. We are now seeing the aftermath of the Great Diamond Authority deciding to be nice all of a sudden. You know, thousands of years of conquering worlds, and now that Steven has said, hey, that's bad, okay? The other diamonds are like, okay, we'll give up our planets. And not everyone's keen on that. Or at least, not everyone's keen on accepting Steven as the new Pink. Now, I can't speak for the show entirely because Steven Universe Future isn't over yet. So, for all I know, maybe Bluebird Azurite does eventually become friendly, and she holds hands with Steven, and they sing Kumbaya, and come on, people now smile on your brother, and yeah, all those other protest songs, and everyone's happy. In which case, this entire video is meaningless. Well, maybe not the entire video, but a good portion of it is meaningless. That being said, I kind of hope they don't have Bluebird get friendly at the end. Now, I don't really want Steven to just up and ice her, you know? Like, she doesn't need to be bubbled or shattered or anything dramatic like that. But I think it would be okay for her to say, no, I don't accept this. I understand that we can't conquer and pillage like we used to, but I'm not cool with you, the imposter, Pink, making the new rules, so I'm a bounce. And she, I don't know, pieces out and does her own thing. And we're already seeing that with some other gems as well. I mean, you already have the episode with the lapises, the lapi, whatever the plural is for that. The terraformers. You know, they're terraforming, and they ain't cool on it. I mean, even though one of them at the end decides to come to the little gem academy or whatever the hell that is. But still, it would be kind of fun to see a new direction. Like, okay, imagine this. What if these new gems who aren't cool with it form their own gem society? Like a society that is essentially sanctioned by the diamonds as saying, okay, you're an independent gem society. As long as you're not pillaging and conquering like we used to do, you're okay, but you don't have to do the huggy acceptance, friendship, change, hoo-ha that Steven is all about. That'd be kind of cool, you know, because now we're seeing a diversity of, I guess, a diversity of opinion among gems that isn't one extreme of like, you know, let's be friends, and the other extreme of like, you know, crush them with an iron fist. You got a spectrum of gems now, which would be kind of weird, and also probably not what they're going to do. I mean, I'm going to be real here. That's a bit more of a nuance than I think they care to do with a show aimed towards kids. But yeah, I don't know. I think it would be kind of fun to see. All right, let's do some wrap-up thoughts. So, it's always fun to see a new character in a show, you know, especially a show that has a long-established character base and can tactfully introduce new characters, because that's kind of a hard trick to do. A lot of these shows, when they start running out of steam, try to inject a new character in to kind of liven everything up. But you don't really get that with Bluebird because she's not a main character. You know, she's just an introduction character, but she is kind of different from everything we have seen thus far. I do hope that they do continue with Bluebird Azurite. I want to see more of her. I want to see her return. I want to hear her goofy voice, and I want to see her feebly wail against Steven's shield again one more time. So yeah, I salute you, Bluebird Azurite, you multicolored chihuahua, you weirdo with 4 legs, you octopus, because you technically have 8 limbs if we're counting 2 of your wings, 2 of your arms, and 4 of your legs. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this video. It was kind of a fun little experiment to try a new setup. I really hope you guys stick with me for the new year. I hope you like what you see. If you do, definitely go ahead and rapscaliously place your hands upon the 3 sacred buttons. Like that video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. You know, lets me know what you guys like and what you would like to see more of. Also, feel free to say anything you'd like in the comments down below. Once again, it helps the channel out in the good old algorithm, and also lets me know what you think. In addition, if you wish to follow me elsewhere, I always provide my social media links in the description box down below. And with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I look forward to a new year and a new decade with you. And until next time, a riddly, a diddly, deuces.